What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the live stream for Civil 3D, your home for Civil 3D tips and tricks. Today, we're going to be learning about creating pipe and structure tables. If you've never done that before, you can go ahead and follow along. But the way that we always start, if you want to learn more and more about Civil 3D, and you're interested in some more free tutorials, I encourage you to go to civil3d.tv, and there you can get on the home page. You can sign up for free Civil 3D tutorials. Typically, there's a few that come out every month. I think the newsletter gets sent out every month, and you can follow along. You can go into our free tutorials right here. And this is just a previous live stream, but these tutorials are just the live streams to where I'm just going through the different tutorials just real quick and dirty, and then later on I basically clean clean all of these tutorials up into actual courses to where you can actually go into a free trial. If you click this blue button right here, let's close out of this ad. You can sign up for a free 3-day trial, and with this is an actual formalized online course to where you can learn Civil 3D at your own pace. So I highly encourage you to check that out. It's risk-free. You can actually go to watch.civil3d.tv and go ahead and sign up. Inspirational Nomad, what's up, brother? It's Sam from the Inspirational Nomad channel on YouTube. Let's look him up right here. I encourage you to check out this guy. Very nice guy. His name is Sam, and if you want to learn more and more about Florida and more about RVs and the nomad life, I encourage you to check this guy out. He's almost to 30,000 subscribers, and he's just knocking it out all the time, man. Sam says, very nice job on the website, very professional. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, man, I've had this website up for a few years now, and it's just been slowly progressing. And I think that the live stream aspect could be really, really helpful for people that are just looking for some free instruction, but like I said, if there's people out there that are interested in kind of like more of a formalized course to where they can knock through a bunch of tutorials, again, sign up for that free trial, for online Civil 3D training. And sign up to become a member with the Inspirational Nomad if you're interested. He has a live chat to where people just get together and we just encourage each other. He's a very good encourager. He's very good at inspiring people. And, if you find yourself in a little bit of a rut, like we all do, he's the type of guy that you can talk to. And, he's not like a counselor or anything like that. But, I mean, he's just a guy that'll just, kick you into gear, basically. So I encourage you to check him out. Okay, let's actually get to the tutorial here. Glad to see you there, Sam. Okay, what I'm going to start off with first is a review from the last exercise, which is viewing pipe network parts in a section view. Okay, in the drawing, we're going to actually zoom into station 1260 roughly. It's right about there. Okay, and then we're going to go to home. Man, my neighbor, he's getting loud today. He must have had a rough day today. Man, he's cursing up a storm. Profile and section views panel, that's the next thing. Then go to sample lines. And then we're going to select our alignment from our list, and we want to select road 1. I'm going through this quick, guys, so this is just a review so we can get to the next tutorial. If you want kind of like a slower, dirtier version, check out the last tutorial. So I'll click OK right here. We get our Create Sample Line Group dialog box. We're going to go ahead and click OK. I'm not going to change anything. And then on the command line, it's asking us to specify a station along a baseline. Go ahead and type in 1260. Sam says LOL, smiley face. Good old smiley. Okay, enter the left swath. We're going to go with 20. That's 20 feet. Then for the right, 20 feet. And there we go. You'll see that the sample line is created at that specified station. We're going to go ahead and press enter to exit out of this command. And you can actually see it right here. It's right here. Okay, next thing. We're going to create a section view from that sample line. Go into your Home tab again. Then your Profile and Section Views panel. Click on this arrow right here and select Create Section View. Select the section display options. And then for our surface, we're going to change the label set to no labels. And we're going to do that for the rest of this stuff. I'm going to shift and select all of this. Oops, guess I can't do that. Select this, no labels, click OK. No labels, oops. Then no labels. Okay. Sam says, when were you first introduced to CAD? Were you immediately passionate about it? No, actually I was in high school when I first came across CAD. I thought that I was going to be a cartoonist or an artist when I was in high school. And I don't know, there's just something in my brain that got me thinking, how am I going to make a living as basically as an artist? Actually, while I'm talking to you, let me do something real quick. Sorry, Sam. I'm going to try and add my camera as full screen. Oops. So you can actually see my face a little bit better. You can see my mug a little bit better. Okay. Like I said, I was in high school, and I was trying to figure out in my mind, okay, how can I make money as an artist? I thought, man, you know, it'd be great to be able to work for Disney or somebody like that, but it was just like, I don't know. I felt like I needed to be wise. I needed to be smart about where my career was going to be headed. So I actually got involved with some architecture classes, and in my architecture class was where I started to get introduced into AutoCAD. Release 13 was the first one that I dealt with. Um, and it just slowly progressed from that. And after a while, it was like you know, I liked architecture and those classes. I was also in art classes as well, but my path started to kind of veer more into architecture, and then after that, I heard about civil engineering. I never knew about civil engineering, which is what this stuff is. Um, you know, designing infrastructure and things like that. I never knew about civil engineering, and all of a sudden I got approached by a co-op counselor that said that, yeah, there's a civil engineering company that's looking to bring on a high school co-op. I was actually a senior in high school at the time, so they allowed me to leave early in the day, probably like roughly around like maybe around lunchtime or so. I grab my lunch and I go work for the civil engineer as a print runner, you know, as a gopher. I just did a lot of the errands, a lot of the filing and things like that. And then after a while, they started to get me on to a computer, and I started to get better and better at creating these small little plot plans. And which a plot plan, if you don't know already, is basically kind of like a miniature site plan for just like a residential house. And usually took me a few hours in order to knock one of those plans out. But I just got faster and faster. Oops, excuse me. I just started to get faster and faster at doing this. Started to learn all the quick key commands and stuff, and I was just knocking these plot plans out like hotcakes. And after that, it just continued to progress and progress, and I was actually starting to actually have a career at in civil engineering. Granted, you know, CAD and engineering isn't necessarily you know, working for Disney, but it's still provided it has provided me a great living. So that's what got me started in CAD. Have I been passionate about it? No, not necessarily, but it's interesting enough to where I'm able to progress at it. You know, I think if I had, even if I had my perfect job, I think that I would still feel, you know, we all have our lazy days, you know, and no matter what job we're working, whether we're passionate about it or not, some people are just different. So, thanks for the question, there, Sam. That was a good one. I appreciate it. All right, let's switch back to our tutorial. Hopefully that full screen turned out fairly well. Okay. Okay, we've got our labels set to no labels. And then we just create our section view. I'm going to pan off to the side, and I'm just going to put it right there. Zoom in, and that's what we got. Station 1260. And that's essentially it. That's all there is to this little review right here. But if there are any guys that are currently, maybe you're in high school right now, you know, maybe you're in high school right now and you're not sure where your career's headed, you know, I think that a lot of us, you know, if we don't have a clear-cut direction in life, I was that way, to where I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, but I just took kind of like the next logical opportunity. If there's any way, if you're in high school, and if there's any way to get involved with some kind of high school co-op program to where they actually get you into, a business or an office to where you're actually in a professional situation, I would highly encourage you to go into that direction, because a lot of times you often hear about people that get involved with, they get involved with a certain profession, and they think, okay, from high school, I don't have any job opportunities in this profession, but I'm going to go ahead and go to college, so that later on I can get into the profession. That's logical. It wasn't my path, but you find out that people in school, they invest so much time and energy into school, and then afterwards it's just sort of like they can't find a job once they get out. There was a guy that I actually work with that had talked about how he got involved with IT when, all of us in civil engineering, we were all involved with the housing recession. And he told me that he went back to school to earn an IT degree. And he said that he made the mistake of not getting involved with their co-op program. Instead, he was solely focused on coursework, that he was never actually able to get a job in that particular field. And, you talk about frustrating. I'm sure that after a while, you could probably find out, opportunities once you finish up school. But still, the goal is to get involved with a professional office, to get involved with a business that will take you from college to the business world, because you don't want to be a career student all your life. You need to get your foot in the door. And a lot of people that are looking to get involved with engineering and stuff, they always talk about how, gosh, I'm having a hard time just trying to get my foot in the door, because they say that, I lack the experience. I don't know if people lack, they have a degree, but they lack the experience, apparently. And apparently that's kind of like a closed door sometimes, for whatever reason. And then people end up getting involved with a different kind of profession, and they're having to pay off their school loan debt from their previous venture. So everybody's got their own path. But I'll just leave it at that. You guys are probably thinking, come on, man, I don't care about your path. Get into the tutorial. All right, let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so now we're going to be getting into creating pipe and structure tables. This shouldn't last too long. My notes aren't very long here. Okay, in this exercise, you'll create a table that displays information about the structures in a pipe network. Then you'll create a table style to display other information. The procedures for creating pipe and structure tables are very similar. While this exercise focuses on structure tables, you can use the same procedure to create pipe tables. This exercise continues from our last exercise, which was viewing pipe network parts in a section view. So let's go ahead and create a structure table. You'll see that this exercise uses the pipe networks -3C drawing, which has the modifications you made in the previous exercise. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Annotate tab. Gosh, my neighbor, he's still yelling. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Okay. Labels and tables panel. Add tables. And then pipe network. Then we're going to add the structure table. We get our little dialog box here, the structure table creation dialog box. And we're going to leave everything at its defaults. It looks good. Then click OK. And there, right now, our command line is asking us to select the upper left corner. I'm going to select right here, zoom in, and there we have it. All right, we can examine the contents of the table. Next, you'll change the contents of the table by creating a table style. Okay, go ahead and select your table. Then we get a little tab right here, this contextual tab for table, and click on table properties. Actually, before I do that, go ahead and select table properties. We get our dialog box, and then for table style, we're actually going to create a table style. We do that by clicking this down arrow, and we're going to copy the current selection. And we're going to give it a brand new name. Structure, stations, and details. After that, go to the Data Properties tab right here. And we're going to check this box to sort the data. For sorting column, we're going to leave it at 1. And the order, we're going to have it at ascending. These settings ensure that the table rows are sorted in ascending order by the first column. And this structure name is the first column, right? Yeah, I believe it is. Sorry, bear with me, guys. In the structure area, we're going to click this plus icon. It looks like it created an extra column right here. Double click the new columns heading. I'm going to do that again in case that was too fast. Right up here is the heading. Okay, not the automatic, but just the cell above automatic. Double click. We get our text component editor. And in this, click within this black box, we're going to type in station. Thing is about Civil 3D is that with this editor area, you can barely see the text. It's so thin. So I apologize for that, guys. Cartoon Mark, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Cartoon Mark, everybody. If you don't know who that is, go ahead and check out Cartoon Mark on YouTube. He's got his channel going on right here. He's actually in the process of creating a brand new art studio. He's another online, I guess if you want to call it virtual friend that I've made here on YouTube, as well as Sam. Feel free to check him out. He's got all kinds of videos on creating caricatures He's got all kinds of stuff going on here. That's the thing about YouTube is that you never know what's going to hit, you know? Cartoon Mark says, great tutorial. I'm so dumb at this digital stuff. Yeah, it's just takes practice, you know? Just getting familiar with things. I mean, just the fact that you learn how to stream, Mark, is a feat in and of itself. Very cool. I like the way that your studio's coming together, man. So that's Cartoon Mark. Okay, we just typed in station in the component editor. The component editor. And click OK. Cartoon Mark says, thanks, Charles. Triple thumbs up, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, man. We just keep on cranking away at this stuff. Eventually, that monetization is going to come. It's going to come. I hit 100 subscribers today, man. 100. 100. I just got to do that how many more times? 10 more times? No problem, right? Easy as a snap. All right, where am I? In the table style dialog box in the structure area, double click the column value in the station column. Okay, so that means this right here. I'm going to do that again. I didn't choose automatic. I chose the cell beneath automatic within the station column. Yeah, Cartoon Mark, if you learn this CAD stuff, this civil engineering stuff, man, they might, if you get good at the digital and computer stuff, your company might say, yeah, Mark, you're not going out in the field anymore. You're staying in the office. Mark would be like, what? That's not what I wanted. I think Mark's got a good job right now. He works full-time, I think locating utilities, I believe. So he knows a little bit about civil engineering. Okay, in the table components dialog box, under text, next to contents, for structured text, we're going to select this box and select this button that's got the 3 dots. Okay. In here, we're going to highlight this thing that says structure text. And then we're going to press delete. In the preview area, we're going to type in station equals. Then I'm going to add 1 extra space. And then within properties, I'm going to click this drop down. And then I'm going to select structure station. This stuff right here is dynamic data that I'm getting ready to import, or that I'm getting ready to shift into my preview area. The precision value, we're going to have it at 1. Then, a very important step, make sure you click this arrow after doing that. And that gives us our dynamic data. It's what's in the brackets. then click OK twice. 1, 2. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Okay, now we're going to select this column right here. And we're going to move this over here, right above the structure details column. And it switches the columns. I'm going to do that again. Click that station. I'm going to go over here now. See how it does that? Do that again. Then we're going to click OK twice and see what happens to our style. There we go. If I press Escape to deselect, now we have our structure name. We now have our station with the dynamic data attached to it. And then we have our structure details such as, you know, rim and inverts and whatnot. Well, this is pretty cool, isn't it? I don't know if I'm passionate about it, like you know, what Inspirational Nomad has talked about. You know, do you necessarily need to be passionate about your job? No, not necessarily, but you can be passionate about, I'm passionate about YouTube. I'm passionate about art, you know, doing, like the other night I was passionate about drawing a picture of Gambit, you know, doing that live for you guys. So there's different ways of being able to fulfill your passions. It doesn't necessarily have to be just solely from your job. I think that your job can give you maybe like a kind of like a base level. Here, let me do this. I think your job can give you sort of like a base level of passion, but I think that passion comes from knowing that by doing this job, as long as it's not too crazy stressful or you know, you're not just pulling your hair out, you have the passion to do the job because you're helping your family. You know, you're contributing to your family's welfare. B, you're also contributing to making a life for yourself, being able to do things with, you know, with your livelihood, you know, that you're creating based upon the amount of time that you spend at your job. So having that mindset that, yeah, I mean, like, my job isn't necessarily heaven for me, but it can be something that just gives you a baseline of just, you know, just a feeling of satisfaction that you're contributing to the world and not just sucking from the world. So I think that that's a good place to come from. And that's pretty much it, guys. Been on for about a half hour now. If you have any questions, feel free there. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe. I might not have the answers to all of your questions, but I'm sure I can find it somewhere on Google. You know, leave a link for you and just try to generally help you out. You know, I can only spend a certain amount of time with each question just because, you know, I've got a life too. But yeah, I'd love to be able to help you out in whatever way that I can. Okay. Next thing, we'll go back to, again, go to civil3d.tv. And if you're looking to further, maybe maybe you're not sure if you want to get involved with civil engineering. You know, that's reasonable. Maybe you're in middle school or you're in high school and you're trying to figure out, you know, is civil engineering for me? Maybe you're really good with technology like I was when I was in high school, and maybe you want to learn AutoCAD. Maybe you just want to kind of test the waters. Well, there's ways of being able to get a copy of Civil 3D or AutoCAD. I know that there's a educational version that's out there. Maybe talk to maybe a counselor or somebody within your school that can get you a copy of AutoCAD and load it up on your machine. Go to civil3d.tv and then just go through, you know, some of the free tutorials that we're going through. You know, follow along with some of the things that we're doing, and just get a sense of whether or not, you know, you can see yourself doing it, you know, for a long period of time. Because one of the nice things about getting involved with technology is that, you know, with technology, it doesn't put untold stress on, I mean, it doesn't put an extreme amount of stress on your body. It could put stress on your mind, but I've seen so many guys, there's a lot of guys that work out in the field. You know, they're able to, you know, get out and get some fresh air and stuff, and they're able to enjoy their surroundings outside. But sometimes with construction, you know, if you're doing things repetitively with your body, you know, like you're bending down or you're lifting heavy things, it can put a lot of stress on your body. I mean, I've seen a lot of surveyors, you know, a lot of guys that come in from the field. You know, Cartoon Mark can probably attest to this, that, you know, guys that come in out from the field, and you can just see just by the way that they walk, you know, they're having trouble walking and stuff. And I can remember even my uncle, he was involved with construction. He wasn't out in the field, but he was actually like a carpenter, and he was on his knees all the time. You know, you're out in extreme weather, especially if you live up north, and you know, you're in these situations where, you know, you've got all this stress on your joints and stuff, and once you get to a certain age, it's just sort of like, I just can't do this anymore. There's one guy that I know of that's a couple years older than I am, that he had to leave the construction industry and get involved with, I think he's involved with some sort of, he's like a therapist, you know, like a massage therapist, you know, so he just couldn't do construction anymore because it's just too much stress on the body. But getting back to, you know, testing things out with technology, you don't have that extreme amount of stress. You know, you can I guess manage stress a little bit better. You know, when it's mental stress, you can have more boundaries when you have mental stress. But yeah, I encourage you to check this out. Again, feel free to check out the free 3-day trial, and I'll just leave it at that. Again, like and subscribe, and I'll check you later, guys. Peace.